Greetings, everyone. This is Linda Talaferro and Being Brown at Work. This episode is going to be focused on something that I know we as Black and Brown women are constantly striving for, and that is to be visible, to be seen. And I'm going to offer to you that being seen really just isn't enough. It's important for sure. We've got to be recognized in the room. People have to know that we're there. But that is not what's going to be transformational in getting you into a leadership position, into that position you desire. So let me help you understand the difference between being visible and being positioned. The key difference is when you're positioned, then you're chosen. You've put yourself where you need to be, both in recognition and in the awareness of those in the room so that you can be chosen for that role. But let's take a step back because I want to make sure that I am very clear because it may sound odd when I say it's just not enough to be visible. There's a little bit of a trap of visibility that we as Black and Brown women get ourselves into. I know I did for years. I felt in order to be seen, I had to work harder. I had to say yes to everything. I had to overdo, meaning more than, I don't know if you were taught, I was always told, look, you're Black, you got to work harder than the white men in the room or you've got to do more. And I did all that early in my career and I stayed at that same level, which was not a leadership level. It wasn't until I actually was being coached and it was a white man who was coaching me that said, Linda, working hard is just not enough. It's just not going to make the difference. You were given the role that you have today because they know you can do the job. That's a given. It's the price of entry. What's beyond this, what will get you into that director position, what will get you into the VP role, what will get you into the C-suite is being chosen for the roles. How are you different than anyone else in the room? Exceptional work for sure. But what is it about you that makes you different than others? And I know for me, I've said this to some of my clients, and I'll say it, on this episode as well. I had to get out of my own way. One of the things I really had to work on is the imposter syndrome. I had to, look in the mirror and realize that one, I was worth it, that I absolutely had everything it took to achieve that next level role. I can remember when I was being interviewed for a board position, and this is a board position, I actually ended up getting it with a private equity firm in New York on Fifth Avenue. I can remember once I got the role and I went to my first meeting. No joke. I'm sitting in the boardroom and I'm like, okay, I'm looking out the window in New York. I'm like, am I supposed to be in this room? Now I had done all the work, obviously done all the work. And they had confidence in me, but yet I still didn't. That voice was telling this little Black girl from Pennsylvania, why are you on Fifth Avenue in a board meeting, a board member, an independent board member? What are you doing here? And I had to get out of my own way and remember that I had did all the necessary work to position myself to be chosen for the role. And that's what I would offer to you. If you've had these struggles in your career, it's fine. We all have them. First thing is to own them, give yourself some grace, but then do the work necessary, the interpersonal work to get out of your own way. And then if you followed me for any length of time, you know what I'm about to say next. Is once you've gotten out of your own way, the next important step is to build relationships. Those people that are in the room, that you walked into that room, they knew your name, but now it's up to you to be control of the narrative around who you are as a person. And the best way to do that is by you building the one-on-one relationships with them. I know we're told this often, it's not easy to do. And it's true, it's not. It takes intentional effort, but it will make the difference because you want to be the one chosen when the next opportunity comes. And that's when those individuals have gotten to know you for you. Above and beyond you hitting the home runs all the time, getting the task done, knocking off all the agenda items. Again, as I said earlier, that comes with the price of entry. But for instance, who is Linda Talaferro? Who am I above and beyond that? And that's what makes the difference in relationships. The story I told you about the board seat, I got that through my network, through relationships. Somebody knew me, somebody advocated for me, and then therefore, because I had built that relationship, I got the call, got the interview, and ended up getting the role. Same thing happened to me when I got my MBA. I went to Ross and I did not have to pay for it again because of relationships. And that was the step that helped me get into my first executive leadership position. So, I wanted to make sure that I spent time in this episode really diving into the difference of being visible versus positioned. And we rarely hear the word positioned when it comes to Black and brown women, because most of the time, those people that are positioned get promoted, and it's not usually us. It's very rare that people are whispering in our ears and giving us this kind of gameplay, let's say. And so since I've learned it and it's been beneficial for me, I felt it so important that I share this in this episode. I will tell you, if you need any help diving into some of the areas I talked about, whether it's getting out of your own way, what that looks like, first of all, finding out, are you even in your own way? And then how to get out of your own way. And then what it means once you do that to then start building these networks that can be transformational in your career. Reach out to me. Put something in the comments. I'd more than happy to reach out to you one-on-one, even in the comments, respond to you and share even more of what I've done. Because it is the difference in your career. If you're truly trying to reach a leadership role, you can't just be visible. You have to be positioned.